All right, guys, we're underway. It is officially March Madness. It's officially the postseason, Rob. How are you doing today?
Doing okay. I've got a little bit of a raspy voice, so I guess I'll sound especially grizzled for this fine affair.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've already been sick twice this year, so there's no chance I get sick a third time during Kansas City week. So I'm pumped. You're going to be down there for both the men's and women's. We're going to be previewing the women's tournament today. Obviously, Billy Finley's joining us, joining me, I should say, in a little bit. Already recorded that, so kind of a little out of order here. But man, you excited for this one? Iowa State sneaks into the double bye. They'll play Saturday as the 4 seed. Don't know who they'll play yet. It will likely be Baylor. But you win that game, there's a day of rest in between, and then it's full board to the championship on Monday and Tuesday if they can manage to run it back like they did last year.
Well, first, I dispute your characterization of, quote, sneaking in to the double bye. I think they fully earned it.
I'm not putting them down. You can't be doing me like that.
I know. I'm just trying to make sure you're precise with your language, Connor. Precise with your words. But no, I mean, it's a great situation. Who would have guessed, right? For Iowa State, with 5 freshmen playing key roles. Emily Ryan sitting out almost the entire non-conference season. And all the departures, of course, that were after last season. But great job by them. 12 and one more win than last season. We had Ashley Jones and a full cohort of people who have been there a long time. Huge achievement and a lot of opportunity for Iowa State. It looks like they'll probably face Baylor, which is a tough matchup. But hey, you're already this deep and you're already in the NCAA tournament. So embrace every challenge as an opportunity, cliche or not.
It's really impressive to improve on any conference record that you had, especially a winning one, I should say. Going with 5 freshmen, no matter how you do it. Obviously, that start to conference play they were really hot. They had some freshman wall moments. I think just about every player on the squad could say that they had theirs at some point this season, but a lot of them playing their best basketball towards the end. To use another damn cliche, apologies to you, Rob, but they're peaking at the right time. Hannah Bellinger's playing the best she's played all season. She was electric on Saturday against Cincinnati. You have Jalen Bristow that came on during that Houston road game for that half, whatever stretch of play that was. It's if you can get that out of your role players and they can really come on to themselves, it's going to be really tough to beat Iowa State this weekend.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, I think Texas is a buzzsaw. I mean, if they get to that, but Baylor's going to be tough enough. But I think it's been a theme all season that Audie Crooks gives you almost constant, 15 or more and 7 or 8 more boards. Addie Brown will give you a fair amount of rebounds and assists. And of course, we know she had a lot of doubles and occasionally really pop scoring wise, like she did with 24 a couple games back. She's done that 3 times this year, I think. And then Jalen Bristow, Kelsey Jones, and Ariana Jackson giving them big boosts at times. I think Jackson is the biggest surprise to me because maybe she was, quote, the least highly touted. If you want to say, I don't know, stars are not the same thing when you look at women's basketball recruiting as men's because not as many people go deep on it and all that. So there's not as much controversy there, but obviously a great player. Roosevelt came from a Cyclone family. Dad played for Dan McCarney. Brother, played for Matt Campbell. So, and they're at every game. So, I mean, I think she's been the most pleasant surprise. Not that you wouldn't expect her to be good, but the way she defends, her ability to hit big threes and to create that shot in space for herself. I'm just really impressed with her. But of course, we got some Big 12 awards today that I think to no one's surprise, and you can recap those if you'd like.
Yeah, Billy and I touched on them a little bit, but to go down the whole list, Audie Crooks was unanimously named to the All Big 12 first team. Both of them were named onto the All Big 12 freshman team. It's the third time. What's that?
Both her and Addie Brown. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't say Addie Brown's name. Thank you for that. But both on the all-freshman team. That's the third time in program history that happened. That was Emily Ryan and Lexi Donarski. I believe Shauna Johnson and Jada Buckley back in 2014, if I remember right. So I read a release. That wasn't a brain pull or anything.
That's good. I take credit for it, man, whenever you can.
Award season is among us. We'll see. Bill Finley's never won a Coach of the Year. Never won a Big 12 Coach of the Year. That kind of shocks people when you remind them of it. It shocks me for sure. I guess it did for a bit. Obviously, I've been covering women's basketball for 6 years now. So, do you think this is the year?
I don't know how he doesn't get it, given the completely remade program, heavy reliance on freshmen. Audie Crooks talked about it. As good as she was in high school, and she was great for Algona Garrigan, but a small school. No one thought it would translate to this level, let alone college. There'd be a lot more bumps in the road for her, but she kind of came in and, she built up her stamina. I know Finley said that's one of the biggest things that's been impressive about her is her ability to get into the conditioning program, the strength program, and really run with it now that she can play 30 minutes a game plus and when they need her to. Obviously, ideally, I think she's getting spelled by Nelly Nadabu, a decent amount. Because she can contribute very nicely as well. But how do you not? I mean, look, Jenny Baranchek, after that terrible non-con for Oklahoma, to do what they did in the league certainly merits strong consideration. But I think when you look at what people expected Bill to have, and the results to this point, I would think you should get it. Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I would look at Oklahoma. I might look at Texas.
Throw in Texas too. Yeah, but you lose Rory Harmon, and yet you still dominate most of league play.
Yeah, it is kind of odd. Like I went on kind of a deep dive a couple years back with awards and stuff because the players should be honored. They should be proud to get said awards. Every year, though, Rob, there's programs in the state that feel wronged by the lists that players are put on or left on, that coaches are put on or left on. And every year there seems to be like, they probably gave it to him because this guy won last year. So he couldn't repeat for player of the year, like what might happen in that conference over there this season, right? I don't know. I think Bill Finley's a terrific head basketball coach, no matter if he has one or not. And I don't take any importance, I guess. I don't take any value in the awards other than the players earned them and they should be proud that they got them. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah. We're back in cliche territory. All those things are nice, but it's all about winning, blah, 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 blah. I think they matter to people individually, and most of them will admit, hey, it's nice, I appreciate it, but it's sublimated to winning, of course, because it's true. You want to win. You don't sign up to win an award and maybe be on a team that, UCF had the leading scorer in the league. Well, UCF did not have a good team, even giving Iowa State a bad loss down there in Orlando. But it is whatever.
Yeah, let's talk stuff that matters, the games. As you said, Texas on the other side of the bracket, I think, is a pretty highly touted pick to make it to the end. Tommy's calling me. I'm not sure what that's about. We'll figure that out later. But is that your favorite? Is that your pick to win too?
Texas?
Yeah.
I think so.
I know with how the Oklahoma games went with them and that rivalry could go either. It's one of my big rules of sports betting. And I'm not sure if it's advice telling you not to bet, but don't bet rivalry games ever under any circumstances.
Yeah, Blackwell's so good. And excuse me, Texas is, Oklahoma's offense is no joke. They're extremely impressive. And when they get going, they can beat anybody. And I truly beat anybody.
Think about what this team did at Hilton, and they, nearly knock off Iowa in that game. They were tied with them with 4.5 to go, or 4:57 left, I think, if I remember right. But Oklahoma kept Iowa State out of the game the whole time. No one's been able to do that. They finished 16-17. Wait, I went the wrong way. I think it was 15-2 at Hilton. I think it was 8-1 in the Big 12.
Arguably, Texas did too, but they did hang around a little bit more with Texas longer because, like as you said, Oklahoma, excuse me, was very much kind of
I've done more at Hilton, but yeah, no.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. Texas also put a ton of space between them and kept it there. So obviously, that would be the semifinal projected matchup if there isn't an upset in the quarterfinals and Iowa State gets to the semis. It'd be against Oklahoma. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out, and especially with this new bracket. I'll be interested to see if anyone from Thursday makes it all the way to Saturday.
Oh yeah, I completely agree there. I guess I wouldn't be shocked, but yeah, I'd be very surprised, as you said. And keep in mind, Baylor. The reason I'm kind of not bullish on that matchup, their head coach made a point to say, "Man, I really wish we had a shot at Iowa State at our place this year." After she was very complimentary, talked about how Bill had recruited her and all that stuff. We really wish we had as well. They're going to get a shot at them as a lower seed in the Big 12 tournament and on the quote unquote big stage at the T-Mobile Center. So that's why I just think that's going to be really tough. But if Iowa State brings its offense and can take care of the basketball reasonably well, there's no reason. They match up okay with Baylor, I feel like. And that should be a fun game one way or the other.
Now, Rob, I always like to call you an old ball head, old ball knower.
Old ball head. I'm an old ball head.
The changed depth perception from Hilton Coliseum to the T-Mobile Center for the first time, usually playing this tournament in Municipal. Now that I'll say that's less comparable because there are less players on this team that played at Municipal. Is the depths of the T-Mobile Center going to be something to look for?
I sure hope not. I mean, they, it's a nice arena. I feel like the sightlines are good. Obviously, anytime you play an arena for the first time this season, and as you said, converse of all the freshmen haven't played at Municipal. The few seniors, the Emily Ryans and the Naidus, they haven't played it at T-Mobile either. But I don't think that should be an issue, but it certainly can be. Hopefully they have the right basketball too, right? The basketball doesn't have a bad feel. Yeah, down the men's side before.
10 years ago, that was a hot topic.
Yeah.
Man.
But yeah, I feel like they're shooting when they're on should travel. They should travel to wherever they go in the NCAA tournament as well. But yeah, I mean, it should be a fun tournament. I know you'll be there for us. Since the Gazette is not sending me, I went ahead and got credentials. So if they do get past Baylor, I'll probably roll into KC early for that. So I'll be alongside, elbowing you in the ribs.
I had a party planned for Saturday night. I thought you were going to be down there then. All right, that's all right.
I'm sorry. That's the tough thing. That's the tough thing about, and we didn't know, of course, that they were going to get the double bye. But I mean, to potentially be there Saturday through.
You would say they snuck in then.
Saturday. Prior to the season, yes. Prior to the beginning of the season. Surprise, no doubt. But yeah, I mean, it should be a fun tournament. Keep an eye on it. I know you'll do good stuff there, but like you said, I mean, can Iowa State win it? Sure. But I really don't like them as a matchup with Texas. It's always been a tough problem. Now they did it last season. They won it last season with a heck of an effort. So they're capable when they're playing well of beating anybody in the league. But Texas seems to, or previously Baylor, but recently Texas seems to be their toughest matchup. And, you just roll them out and see. I mean, like I said, it should be a really competitive tournament once you get past the first day, and it should be a lot of fun.
And if you guys out there are thinking about those results, thinking about those games with Texas and Baylor in the past, I will say the motivating factor when you're deep into a tournament, you're at the end of your season, and how this team is playing right now as well. Iowa State's not going to muck it up in game 21 of the season. Game 31, that completely different story. You saw how physical they were against Texas last year in that game, and it still doesn't translate to going and winning the next week, and it's a completely different tournament. So take the wins or losses how they come. We'll see how they shake out, and I'll at least be there for all of the games. Rob will be down there at some point, but I'll work my ass off until he gets there, and we'll have all the coverage for you. So let's throw it to Billy. Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. Good to be with you. Hopefully I'll get my little mini cold taken care of.
Awesome. Well, here he is, guys. Billy Finley. All right, guys. Now joined here on the Cyclone Fanatic Big 12 tournament preview show with Iowa State Assistant Coach Billy Finley. Thanks for taking the time, Coach. How's it going?
It's going well. Appreciate it. Yeah, kind of nice to have a few days to just kind of do a couple workouts and try to get better, watch a little extra film, and we'll use that time. And then we're going to really start getting after it tomorrow and head down to Kansas City on Thursday.
Yeah, this has to be a good chunk of days off for you guys, especially sneaking in the 4 seed. You got one extra day to prepare, right?
Yeah, no doubt. We took obviously Sunday off, which we've been doing all year long. We took yesterday off with a little extra rehab. Today we're kind of, just doing some workouts and light work, and then we'll really start getting into some stuff without knowing exactly who you're going to play. It's kind of an opportunity to work on yourself, work on some things that we need to get better at, regardless of who we play in Kansas City or in the NCAA tournament. So just trying to shore up a few things without going too crazy. But, the good thing is we've played everybody once, obviously with the exception of TCU, but if we saw them, it'd be a long ways away. But so, you've already seen them once, and, prep at this stage is pretty short and sweet, and we'll do that as we get closer to Saturday.
Is there any unique challenges that people might not see coming when you have to technically prepare for 3 teams, or do you guys kind of angle it heavy towards who you think you're going to end up seeing?
We really don't. We don't try to, guess or anything like that. I think we have a pretty good idea of how we want to play each of the opponents. With that being said, obviously that's different, and that would be the same case when we get to the NCAA tournament. So we're really trying to work on everything, not get too specific on any one thing, any one team. We're going to try to do that the next couple of days and really just go down there with an open mindset and take it one game at a time. And the good thing is, with the way it's set up this year, which is a little bit funky, but if we were to win Saturday, you have Sunday off. So you can kind of regroup then, but really try to attack that first game. Obviously, most people would say that it could be Baylor, but based on seedings. And, I guess I would be honest and say I'd be surprised if it's not. But that's what these tournaments are all about. Houston and Texas Tech have won their fair share of games. Texas Tech obviously beat us in the only game we played. So it'll be a battle down there. All those games will be crazy. They'll all be great to watch. And Saturday, more importantly, you're going to see you have a chance to see 7 out of 8 teams that'll be in the NCAA tournament, and it'll be a really, really great day for women's basketball down in Kansas City at the T-Mobile.
Yeah, I'm excited to be down there for Cyclone Fanatic, and obviously I think everyone in Ames at least would rather have the tournaments together, but either way, it's still going to end up being special at the end of the week. What's the Sunday off day throw into that mix? Is there kind of an extra motivation there to let's get to this off day, then you got the semis and the action kind of picks up from there?
I think you always go down there and you always want to stay as long as humanly possible. Everybody looks forward to it. You get down there Thursday, you don't play till Saturday. Right last year when we went down, you're always going down 2 days before. And it's always like, okay, we could have to go home tomorrow. And obviously with an off day, if you win one, you get 2 extra days, so to speak. So more so than anything, it's just enjoying that atmosphere. Fans will be down there. What's unique is that as we've been young all year long and everything's been a new experience, we're going down there hoping to repeat what we did last year without much of what was on our roster last year. So, but that's fun too. They all watch, they all understand, and they have a belief. And obviously Emily and I have done a good job of talking about some of those memories that we've had and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think it's too much. I don't know, in terms of a day off, it's more so just the benefit of getting to stay and not having to come home, because as soon as we come home, win, lose, or draw, we're going to have a few days off and have to sit here and wait until Selection Sunday to figure out where we go next. So let's prolong that as long as possible and keep playing it as long as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talk about all the seniors' leadership from this year obviously has been really important. We saw what Hannah did in that game Saturday, and obviously Nye's had some great moments this year too. But when Emily, you were the first one to find out that Emily was coming back for an extra year, right?
Yeah, we kind of had, we all kind of messed with her a little bit here and there. And, obviously when she wasn't super healthy in the beginning of the year, she was kind of, whatever. But I knew I had a good feeling as she started to get picked up and started to get going. And now I think you're seeing her play her best basketball all year long right now. When a lot of kids are hitting the wall, she doesn't have those extra, 8 to 10 games on her legs yet. And so we're really hoping that can carry us through here in this stretch run where we feel like we've played the best. But always kind of felt like, she would want to play the game as long as humanly possible. And that's just the type of kid she is. That's how she was raised. That's what she wants to shoot as long as possible. She wants to practice as long as possible. It doesn't matter what it is. She just loves the game. So, without getting too, optimistic, because you're talking about, a fifth-year kid who totally, gives you a chance to go into next year with, and even if she's not playing, I think as we saw early in this year, and a lot of people alluded to it, just her presence, AJ would be the first one and probably the one who benefited the most from her, again, not even playing, but just there in practice every single day, in her ear. She really is a coach on the court, a coach on the sideline when she's not in. So she's a huge, huge benefit to us, regardless of whether she was playing or not. We would have somehow tried to find a way to keep her involved in what we got going on, because she's just too valuable not to.
And between her and Nye, how much can that experience, carry over? Obviously, you guys have coached in so many Big 12 tournaments, and you've seen everything about them. But how can a player, experiencing winning the whole thing, how can that carry over and help your team?
Yeah, I think that it can only help by them just saying, hey, look, we're going to go into a tournament where we feel like we could beat anybody, and vice versa. Anybody kind of feels like they could beat us, and I think across the board in our league, you can see that. Oklahoma beat Texas twice, and we only played Oklahoma and Texas once. We beat Baylor in the one game we played them, but obviously we beat Kansas State twice, but Kansas State beat a lot of people, and so I think it's all about your matchups and, who's peaking at the right time, who's staying relatively healthy. I think with our depth, again, we talk about how young we are, but to say that we're one of the deepest teams in the league, I think is an accurate statement. We got 9 kids averaging double-digit minutes. So obviously to go into a short time frame tournament, we'll play at 11. If you get the benefit of winning, you got more than 48 hours before you play your next game. So that's not going to be an issue. And then again, if you have a chance to win that one, now you're playing at 8:00 Tuesday night in the biggest game of the year. So no, fatigue's not going to be an issue. It's going to be who makes the plays, who executes. Playing in T-Mobile's new for everybody. Obviously that's the reason why we're not there with the men. And I agree with you. I would much rather play at Municipal and be down there with the men, just because the atmosphere is so great, and why we wouldn't want to pair up with the best college basketball tournament in the country. Again, I didn't get a vote on that. I know one person who did, and I know one person who voted apparently against everybody else. But Iowa State just takes over down there. But I think it'll be fun. It'll be a really cool atmosphere. We're going to get to play in that great arena. They'll do a great job, making it presentable and making it look really good for us. And the more you win, the more the fans will come down. And if you're lucky enough to get to the point where you're playing Monday and Tuesday, there'll be a lot of people down there.
Now, you guys in Ames, always every season you play a school day game where we seemingly listen to Baby Shark about 4 or 5 different times throughout the day with an 11 o'clock tip. That's what you got Saturday. Does that kind of help you prepare, and are you excited to play an 11 o'clock game without hearing Baby Shark? I guess you got young enough kids, you're probably still hearing it all the time anyway, right?
I think mine finally grew out of that. I will say that we did go through a phase of that. And wow, that'll set you back. But I'm lucky to say that we grew out of that, I think. But I think every player wants to get up and play. I mean, I really do. I think, the last couple of games, we could have finished anywhere between third and seventh, even as of early last week, I think, with 2 games left. And the one thing that we didn't really care, where it was. Obviously, the double bye is unique, so the top 4 is a little bit of an added benefit. More so, it's just if you're the 6 seed or something, or even the 3, you're playing at 8:30 at night. I mean, that's just a long. Everybody's so excited. You've been down there for 2 days. The last thing you want to do is sit around in the hotel all day long before you get to play. Meanwhile, you're watching everybody else play. So I think more than anything, the 11 o'clock game is awesome. Our kids are super excited. We wake up, we eat some breakfast, we probably walk through a little bit, get stretched out, throw the jersey on, and let's go play. And then hopefully you win and you get the rest of the day to watch all those games and enjoy it. So, at this time of year, nobody wants to sit around and wait. There's nothing worse than being on the road in the Big 12 and playing a 7 o'clock Saturday game or anything like that. So, we love those early games. And, I don't know if the kids' day helps us or hurts us or not. At this point, I don't know that there's really much correlation, but I do know that we are excited to play at 11.
Absolutely. And then obviously Big 12 awards came out today. Audie Crooks, one of 4 unanimous first team players. What was it like to see what she was able to do this year, averaging over 18 points and what she kind of grew into towards the last 10 game stretch of the season?
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. Obviously, we always felt like she could be or would be that player. You never knew when, but it was, she's very, a lot of people across the state obviously have watched her for a long time. And, she'd go to the state tournament and throw up 30, 40, 50. And it was because she's playing against kids that are 5'8". It was because she was this. It was because she was that. And everybody always found a reason why she wasn't going to be that successful at our level. And to see a kid who's a freshman from a 1A school in Iowa be one of 4 unanimous, first team all league kids in the number 2 ranked league in the country, according to the net. So I'm not even going to throw my bias in there. The fact is it's the number 2. I think is amazing. And I think it obviously it's a testament to, how hard she's worked. It's a testament to our staff, our strength staff, our trainers who have kept her healthy and everything like that. And she's just getting better and better every single day. And she always comes into the gym. What you see is exactly what you get from her. It's every day. And she's always smiling. She's almost too loose from time to time. It's like, hey, she'll be super, super loose. We're like, hey, you got Yoki Lee tonight. She's not bad. Like we gotta hone this in a little bit. But she just loves the challenge and she loves to play. She loves her teammates. Her teammates love playing with her. And there's not a center in the country that I'd trade her for. And blessed that we get to have her for 3 more years, but super appreciative and love what she's done this year, obviously.
You mentioned that game against Kansas State. What was just seeing that, obviously the come to fruition thing, you knew kind of by that first game how it was going to go, but I thought she even got better in that one-on-one matchup and being able to, even on TV, you could see it happen play after play. And what was it like to be there and see how she attacked Aoka?
Yeah, I think really she's just up for the challenge. She likes to play against bigger kids. Most big post players do. They don't like somebody around their shoulders and somebody that they can't feel and put their hands on. That's usually the way it goes. So conversely, Yoki probably prefers to play against somebody like Audie as well. But, I really think the one thing that Audie doesn't get enough credit for is when she's in the position, she makes it hard to score on her. And she's not going to block a bunch of shots. She's probably not going to win any Defensive Player of the Year awards because her stats aren't going to be there. But it's really hard to get a good position on her. And again, you're talking about an 18-year-old kid. You're talking about a freshman in college who's guarding. Yoki's got to be 23, 24. And that's a kid who's an All-American, who scored 61 recently, who's going to be a pro, So we're not just talking about some random big kid. This kid's pretty good, So I think she's always up for the challenge. She never shies away. She's not looking for help. She's not looking for an excuse of this isn't going to work well because, here's this, here's that. she's like, okay, tell me what you need me to do. I'm going to try to do it to the best of my ability. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but she's going to give it her all. And that's all we can ask for at this stage. And she's been a joy to coach. And I'm looking forward to, hopefully we can do our job and the other players can do their job. And, our freshmen have got a lot of love locally, rightfully so, a little bit nationally. But I think what they're doing, and it's all 5 of them. I mean, if you didn't have Addie and Audie, everybody be talking about AJ and Kelsey and JB, because what they're doing as freshmen is not normal, let alone, it just happens to be that they're playing with 2 other freshmen at a position more of need that are getting a little bit more, numbers wise. But what that whole class has done, all 5 of them, to jump into this situation with 2 transfers and then 2 seniors who have both missed considerable time and put us in a spot where we got a double bye, is amazing. I mean, we finished 12-6. Last year's team was pretty damn good. They went 11-7, and so again, not compare year to year. Everything's different. Every schedule's different. But to be where we are right now, we're very happy over here. We're very excited. And I think we're playing our best basketball. And I wouldn't want to see us here coming down the stretch.
Absolutely. And then, I wanted to mention Addie Brown led your team in rebounding this year. I know how much you and your dad value rebounding the basketball, but honorable mention in the All Big 12 awards. And obviously the entire freshman class has just been, I think, something that a lot of people didn't see coming, not in a bad way or anything like that, but you didn't think it would play out as quote unquote perfectly or close to perfectly as it could for you guys. And as you said, 12-6 is a record to be absolutely proud of.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, Addie's one of those kids where anybody who watched us early on was like, wow, this kid could be really special. She can score it. She can rebound it. She passes at a high level. If we play enough games, she could break the freshman assist record. She's right there. It's really close. And that's a kid who's playing the 4 for us, So it's just the way she passes is really good. Obviously, doesn't hurt to be able to throw a high-low pass to a kid who's 60% on the block, averaging 20 a game, again, in her freshman counterpart in Audie. So that helps the assist numbers. But I think you're exactly right. It was just what these guys came into, to throw AJ into the fire when Emily wasn't fully healthy right away, to go through the non-conference schedule that we went through. We lost to Vanderbilt, who's on the bubble, the NCAA tournament, Syracuse, who's a top 4 or 5 seed, Iowa, who's not bad, gets a lot of recognition, and, Drake, who won their league and probably should be in the NCAA tournament too. So those are your 4 losses without Emily Ryan. And, with playing freshmen who literally are in their 3rd, 4th, 5th game of their career, right out of, high school basketball. So again, we talk about it a lot. I know you guys do. The local media does a great job of it. Hopefully we play some really meaningful games on TV and the national media can catch on, because there's a lot of freshmen in the country getting a lot of notoriety. Again, some of ours are that way, but what this group did as a whole, I think is one of the things that's probably most amazing. One of the better storylines in the country in women's basketball. So very proud of all of them. They brought a lot of energy. There was a lot of doubt around, April and May. We're not going to shy away from that. We understand everything that everybody was talking about, and where people went. And if they go back and take a look at some stats of where those people are now, maybe we don't look so bad. Maybe they regret that. And ultimately it doesn't matter, because we don't regret anything. And things would be different if people were here, and our freshmen were up to the challenge. They were ready to walk right in and play right away. And it was a top 10 class that a lot of people talked a lot about, and Addie Brown got a lot of notoriety being a McDonald's All-American kid. But you never know how that's going to translate right away. And again, this wasn't like take the training wheels off and slowly work your way back in. Okay, Emily Ryan's here, and AJ's going to get 5 minutes, then 8, then 12. I mean, we were going right at it right away. And so happy for them, and they're a joy to be around, and just excited that they're gonna run this thing back. And we're playing at a really high level right now. I think Hannah's playing at the highest level she's played all year. She looks super comfortable. I think Emily Ryan looks really, really comfortable now. Nelly, when she comes in, is looking comfortable. Nye's healthy. So again, we know our limitations, but somebody's going to have to beat us, and I think we're going to be a hard out.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking the time, Coach. I really appreciate it. Get a couple wins in the postseason. I think that national attention will come a lot easier, right?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for all you guys do. Thanks, guys.